Hi everyone, my name is Steve Flanders, and I'm a Solutions Architect on the vCenter Log Insight product team at VMware. And I'd like to demonstrate how you can deploy a new Log Insight virtual appliance and join it to an existing Log Insight deployment environment, either a single instance or an already existing cluster, in order to create or expand a cluster. So to do that, we would go ahead and just deploy the same virtual appliance of Log Insight, a new instance. And during the initial configuration wizard, I mentioned in my last video that you could either start a new deployment, which would create a standalone instance, or join an existing deployment. So I'll select join an existing deployment. And then all I need to do is specify the FQDN of my master Log Insight instance. Now, in my demo environment, I actually do not have DNS configured, so I will use an IP address, but for production environments, you really should use an FQDN, as it will be very hard to change the IP address of the master later. It will actually impact the other nodes in the cluster. So I'll go ahead and do that. And what ends up happening is a request to join is sent to the other node. So you'll see that the worker node is the node that I'm on. I must then go to the master node, or the node that I want to become a master. There's a URL provided for me, and then I must specify whether I want to allow or deny this request. So what I have here is that I have a standalone instance that does not have any other workers connected to it. If I hit allow here, I've turned this standalone node into a cluster. Now, do note here that I have vSphere integration enabled for my ESXi host in my environment, and because of that, it is notifying me that the logs are going directly to the master node and not to the cluster proper. So it is in my best interest to go ahead and configure a load balancer and have all of my logs be reconfigured to send to the load balancer so that both nodes can receive the traffic. That will help balance information. It will also provide ingestion high availability for me. And that's it. I just turned my standalone node into a cluster, and I can go ahead and add additional workers to this cluster if I see fit. Now, if I go back to my node that I had to join, it says that the join was successful. It will go ahead and log me out. It now notifies me that it's a worker, and I don't need to use this interface anymore on the worker. All interactions can be done from the master. The master will give you central configuration management. It's also where you'll issue all of your queries. So if I do go ahead and log in now, this will take the credentials from the master node, so I can log in with my admin account on the master node. You'll see that the UI only provides me with appliance information and an SSL certificate, nothing else. I can actually perform the ability to download support bundles and upgrade workers from the master. So the appliance page here is just more of a convenient factor in case the master is down. SSL certificate would be the only real reason why I'd have to log into this worker node, as you cannot push SSL certificates from the master to all workers today. And that's it. I've now joined a cluster configuration, or I've expanded a cluster configuration. The next step would be, as I mentioned, to set up a load balancer in front of this. I'll cover that in detail in a future video presentation, and then configure all of my devices to send the events to the load balancer VIP. And I'm done. And that concludes this video presentation. I'd encourage you to go ahead and take a look at my blog, sflanders.net, as I have a lot of information about Log Insight. Also be sure to take a look at my Twitter. My handle is smflanders. I will be posting pro tips for Log Insight 2.0 GA. Thank you very much for watching.